China has 1.4 billion people. Finding 11 men who can kick a football should not be one of humanity's greatest challenges. And for one brief moment, it looked like China had finally figured it out. In 2002, China qualified for the World Cup for the first time ever. Also, the last time ever. They played 3 games. Lost to Costa Rica, lost to Brazil, lost to Turkey, scored 0 goals, conceded 9, and then disappeared from the World Cup like it was a limited-time event. The sad part is, for Chinese football, 2002 was not the beginning. It was the peak. And that is where the mystery begins. Because China is not a small country. China can build high-speed rail across the entire country. China can produce Olympic champions. But when it comes to men's football, somehow we are still trying to survive basic passing drills. China is not really absent from the World Cup. Chinese companies sponsor it. Chinese fans watch it. Chinese factories produce merchandise around it. According to media reports, FIFA eventually sold the China broadcasting rights to CCTV at a much lower price than it originally wanted. So China is important enough for the business of the World Cup, just not good enough for the tournament itself. That is the strange comedy of Chinese football. China is everywhere around the World Cup, except on the field. So what happened? The easy answer is, Chinese players are just bad. But that is too simple. Let's start with the money, because Chinese football was not always boring and hopeless. For a few years, the Chinese Super League looked like it had discovered a cheat code. Just buy expensive players. Oscar came to China. Hulk came to China. Carlos Tevez came to China. Lavezzi came to China. Suddenly, Chinese clubs were paying huge wages and bringing in names that football fans around the world recognized. And honestly, it was kind of exciting. The league had attention, the stadiums had energy, the headlines were global. But there was one small problem. You can buy foreign stars for your league. You cannot buy a national team. Because if the money does not build better youth training, better coaches, better local players, and a better competitive system, then the money becomes entertainment, not development. It is like buying a very expensive gym membership and then only taking selfies in the mirror. Technically, you are near fitness. But nothing is really happening. And then there was corruption. The former head coach of China's national team, Li Ti, was sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2024 for bribery. While professional football was disappointing everyone, one of the most exciting football stories in China did not come from the national team. It came from villages. In Guizhou, a local village football tournament became famous across China. People call it Kunqiao, the village super league. And it is everything Chinese professional football often is not. It is chaotic. It is local. It is emotional. It is full of ordinary people. The players are villagers. The crowd is loud. The halftime shows can include ethnic dances. The prizes can be local products. The atmosphere feels less like a corporate sports event and more like a festival where a football match accidentally happened. And Chinese people loved it. Millions of people watched clips online. Tourists came to see it. Local communities became famous. And suddenly, village football looked more alive than professional football. That is the funniest and most painful contrast. The most beloved football in China right now might not be played by professionals. It might be played by people after work. And that tells us something important. The problem is not that China has no football culture at all. The problem is that the passion does not smoothly turn into professional players. Until China fixes the system behind them, it may continue to be everywhere at the World Cup, except on the field.